And welcome everyone to the first ever double-digit episode, the first and only episode 10 of the SGO Press Pass. Mike Strum, managing editor, Sports Gamers Online here. Alongside with me, as always, is our lead writer, Jake Jacobson. Jake, how you doing? We're back on Wednesdays, and all is right in the world.
We are back on Wednesdays. I've had a pretty quiet. Well, I guess that's not true. I've had a pretty quiet Wednesday compared to, I suppose, Monday and Tuesday, where we were theoretically still working E3. Working E3 sounds so weird. I don't have anything to compare this to, but like, I imagine it would have felt way different if we were all in California.
Yeah, it's hard for me to say we worked E3 because, to be fair, sports games were few and very, very, very far between this year and this time around.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
We had a couple.
Taking EA stepping out of the week of E3 really hurt that. E3 and the pandemic. I guess I want to be clear.
Yeah,
I want to be super clear. Straight up at the beginning. Yeah.
Yeah, it was nice to be a part of it, but I'm looking forward to next year when hopefully we can all go to LA. But that's next year. This is the now.
That's right.
This is the SGO Press Pass, as always, brought to you by SGO Insider, the premium subscription service for sports gamers online. For as little as $1 a month, you get inside access, news, game information, some information that can't go public yet from developers that you won't find anywhere else. Sign up today at sportsgamersonline.com/insider and join the conversation yourself and hang out with members of the SGO community, including us on the official SGO Discord. Go to sportsgamersonline.com/discord for that. Leave your comments in the chat, and we will get to as many of them as possible at the end of the show if you have questions that aren't pertaining to anything tonight. But tonight, we have a big one. I mean, I say that every week, but tonight we have a big one.
We got a couple of big ones tonight, though.
Yes. We have our E3 2021 thoughts. We have the Madden 22 tease. Of course, they got to drop it on Thursday, the day after they're dropping the cover. We have Formula One to talk about. We have the NBA 2K22 tease and a few other things. But before we get into that, Jake and everybody in the chat, what have you been playing?
So you're gonna be sorry to hear that I have not really been playing Knockout City last week. So I do not have your weekly Knockout City update. They did just come out with a patch, or they did just announce a patch mode, or they just announced changes are coming to the game. Nothing major, but some little stuff and some new game modes. And they announced that a new ball's being added mid-season. But I have been playing a non-sports game, but a competitive game nonetheless. I've been playing Guilty Gear Strive, which is the latest Arc Sys fighting game. And I've never played a Guilty Gear game before. I've played tons of other fighting games. So it's been, if anybody in the chat or if you have ever played a fighting game, none of them really play the same. The physics are usually different. The inputs are pretty different. The characters obviously are different. So it's been kind of fun having to get used to a new. It's been kind of fun getting used to a new game. But yeah, I was mostly playing that, and then I didn't really play a lot of games this weekend because I spent the whole weekend watching games. So what about you, Mike? What have you been playing?
It's been a weird one this week because of work. It's been a lot of just covering games. Of course, I get my daily run of Retromania Wrestling,
of course,
which, if you are tuning in for a special treat for all you live viewers, we are giving away 2 copies tonight of Retromania Wrestling, one for the Switch, one for the PS4. I'll give some details shortly on how you can enter, but it's going to be very, very simple. We're not going to make you do anything, jump through hoops. It's going to be for the people watching here tonight. So I'm pretty stoked about that. But I've been playing a lot of Escape from Tarkov lately, a lot of Heroes of Might and Magic. Games, I don't know. I'm mixing it up on what I'm playing. Like, we're in that lull of the sports game. Like, MLB The Show's there, but I haven't really been playing it much. And I've also been focused on finishing my new office. So I'm playing real-life Paint Simulator, I guess.
Yeah, it's weird that they've basically made that into a game now, though. I will say hopefully I'll be playing a sports game in the next week or so. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure if it's something I will be able to talk about by next podcast. I'm not 100% sure, but we are weeks away from Mario Golf, so we're on our way. We're in the gulch of simulation sports games for sure. But we're close. We're close. I can feel it. I'm counting down the days. So, you good? We may be having technical difficulties, chat. So if you could let us know what you've been playing, I think that would be really great. I see a lot of hype for F1 2021 in the chat. I'm super excited for that game. There you go. Hello?
There we go.
Hi.
I don't know. This is what happens when we do it live, everybody. My headphones.
Okay, I was ad-libbing. It was fine. It was fine.
They just stopped connecting. They stopped connecting.
Did I say F1 2K21, or are you just laughing at something else? I might have done that. That sounds like something I would have done. So,
I mean, at the end of the day, 2K is 2000. You're not wrong.
That's not wrong anymore, right?
But
2K Codemasters is Take-Two, right?
No, Codemasters is EA.
Damn it, I got it wrong.
Yeah.
Shoot. Anyway,
see? F1 2021 we'll get into shortly. You know what? No, we're gonna kick things off and we're gonna talk E3 because there's not a lot to talk about, but there's still things to talk about.
Well, I mean, so how do you want to do this? Do you want to go show by show, or do you want to do the sports games and then other stuff?
Might as well do the sports games and the other stuff because show
sure.
by show wasn't really the best. Sports games wise, we got what, Forza Horizon 5, which if you get me a Forza game, I'm gonna fall in love with it because it was the first racing series like I truly invested my time into when I was a teenager, and it just keeps going today. But that's really all they showed it. That's all they showed at the Xbox Bethesda is, and that's kind of expected. They're gonna show Forza at an Xbox event.
So I have some thoughts on Forza Horizon 5. One, gorgeous. At some point, Phil Spencer says they built Forza Horizon from the ground up on next gen consoles, and you can tell if the gameplay looks like it does in that trailer. You can tell it's very obvious. I think it's interesting that they skipped motorsport because the last Forza game they released was Forza Horizon 4, and they usually go back and forth. I don't know if that's just like we built this one from the ground up for next gen, but we're not confident enough yet to do our prettiest one. Because, Forza Motorsport always is the game that comes out as like a tech check, I feel like. As like a tech benchmark for the new Xbox console.
I feel like that's every racing game. Racing, if you want to see what a new console can do, you're going to do a racing game. Like back with the original Xbox, it was Project Gotham Racing, which is a series. Oh, man, do I just...
Yeah, so they did say somebody's pointing this out in the chat, but they did say that the team's hard at work on the next Forza Motorsport game.
Yep.
I just think it's interesting that they decided to go to. I would love to hear about the decision to go with another Forza Horizon over a Forza Motorsport. Like maybe this is just a read they had. Like maybe they don't think people are going to want another like hard racing sim, like full racing sim.
So
I don't know. But
Forza Horizon has always been like, it's still a good sim, but it's always been the most what's the term I'm looking for? Welcoming since its debut. Where Forza Motorsport was always for the hardcore. Forza Horizon was to get them in that ecosystem and then hopefully convert them into the motorsports. So I'm pretty.
That makes sense.
I feel like that they're going to do that with the Series X. They give a full next gen game. Granted, they say next gen, but it's going to be available on the Xbox One. It's going to be available on PC. Now they're saying Xbox One game or Xbox Series X games will be available via cloud gaming on the Xbox One. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to rant. I'm going to try and go this whole episode without ranting. I don't think I can, but I'm going to do my best to not go on some stupid rant.
Just so you know, all of your super chats and your Patreon memberships go towards our new side podcast, Mike's Rants. So keep that in mind when you donate.
Speaking of the super chat, if you want to get anything read on the air, anything answered, no matter when you put it, no matter how, what's the word I'm looking for? How out there the comment is, as long as it's not vulgar.
Please don't be sexist and racist.
Sexist, don't any of that stuff. Be smart with it. But I will read it. There's very easy things to get me on my soapbox. So if you want to leave a super chat saying, "Hey, Mike, I believe that next gen consoles are a joke and they should stop making them and they should focus on the last gen too," and blah 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 blah, you will get me. So yeah, seriously, super chat, anything. Christian will say, has a good point. I'm sorry. I am 100%. I'm trying to be a good boy today.
You go live for 3 weeks, and all of your audience already knows all of your tendencies.
Whatever. Let them. Other games aside from Forza.
Well, one more thing I wanted to say on Forza. Their presentation, so they showed a trailer and then they showed like a 20-minute breakdown or not a breakdown, like an introduction to more info with the developer, and they spent so much time talking about how they wanted to faithfully recreate like the visuals of Mexico because the Horizon Festival for Forza Horizon 5 is taking place in Mexico, and they spent all this time and they were like, we faithfully built these visuals. We wanted this. They showed a bunch of like actual scenery from Mexico, and we're like, here is a bunch of stuff that's very meaningful to their culture. And then they were like, here's a cool mini game you get to play where you run over a bunch of piñatas. So I think it's great that they are visually representing Mexico like this. I am worried that that's all that they will. I'm worried that the only good representation of Mexico will be visually. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. As someone, I know they're completely different, but it's still a Hispanic culture. Like, one thing I loved about Miles Morales was the representation of the Puerto Rican culture and just the aesthetics of the neighborhood in New York City.
Right.
And my wife is Puerto Rican. My children are half, and it's one of those, like, I like to see, like, embrace where your family came from, embrace the culture and things like that. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. Ray Magnoni, you see the graphics on Forza 5 and I say to myself, why can't every game regardless of genre look like that? I often think the same thing before we move on, but racing games, like the textures and things like that, it's just so much easier because of how fast things are going. They can have the blur on the sides. They don't have to worry about drawing distance on the sides, whereas other games do, and certain things like that. There's some weird intricacies.
That's an interesting point, actually.
Intricacies there. I would like to see it, but that's why they use racing games to test the power and showcase the power of the new consoles. Aside from Forza, 2 other sports games really that caught everybody's attention. Ubisoft unveiled Riders Republic, which basically takes every extreme sport and makes them so over the top.
Oh no, go ahead. Sorry.
Then we saw the unveiling of Shredders, which is a snowboarding game that is built for snowboarders by snowboarders.
Whatever that means.
And it is, I am not a great snowboarder. I used to be when I was younger. I'm a fan of snowboarders, snowboarding games like 1080, Cool Boarders. Give me those games all day. One game, before we talk about this as like a group, one game we didn't see during Ubisoft's conference was Roller Champions, the roller derby game.
So apparently they came out a couple days before EA. I'm gonna give myself the benefit of the doubt, and say that they did this after our podcast, but that's probably not true. They did come out ahead of E3 and were like, "Hey, we don't have anything to show at E3 this year. We'll have more info at the end of the year for Roller Champions." But yeah, I was really surprised because it felt like, I don't know, the vibes on this E3 were weird, which we can talk about all day. It seemed like, but like, you know, it seemed like the kind of show. This seemed like the kind of E3 where even a nominal update would have been received really well. So that makes me wonder like where they're at in the development, because they've had a ton of betas for that game.
Yeah, and I mean it's going to be a free to play like freemium type game.
Yeah.
But give us more. Like, how is that even? You got to think they might have decided by now how that's going to work. If it's still coming out this year, which they haven't said it's not. So
my guess with Roller Champions is that the next time they talk about it, they're going to drop it. That seems like the kind of game, especially because they've already confirmed that it's a free-to-play game or a free-to-start game, however you want to say it, depending on if you're Nintendo.
Yeah, there's no way they could have came out and that game was going to be $40. How many people are going to drop $40 to $70 on a roller derby game? Let's be honest.
Maybe. But like that is exactly the kind of game that you do like a 20-minute presentation and then you're like, by the way, go download it right now. It's available in the Steam shop. So that's my guess for not Riders Republic, which I want to loop back to.
Yeah, 100%.
That's my guess for Roller Champions. Is that like we probably, and again, I've got no info. This is not insider info. I'm guessing sometime like October, November, that game just comes out.
Sports Video Games Daily stealth drop at midnight for Roller Champions. Let's do it, Ubisoft. I know you're not watching, but humor me. You're watching me. You know who I am.
I mean, it's the perfect.
You know,
it's the perfect game for that. Like, it's the perfect game to just be like, Roller Champions is out.
Because
surprise. Like
when you think of sports games, you think of Ubisoft. And Steep was a damn fun game. I'm still disappointed that it came out, or I didn't have the chance to review it for SGO. That would have been one of the games where you go, oh, maybe that Mike guy isn't so negative about everything. But Rider Republic, that is another game.
So I remember, I don't have this chat popped up. I remember in our work Discord, we talked about this game like a couple months ago, because I was like, have you heard anything about this indie sports game? And then you were like, it's an Ubisoft game. And I was like, wow. I didn't have a lot of like, I didn't know a lot about Riders Republic. I didn't have a lot of expectations for Riders Republic until they showed that trailer at E3. And now I'm super excited for Riders Republic. I don't think that there is a good, like fun, multiplayer, chaotic, extreme sports game.
The closest you're getting right now is Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2. That's the closest you're getting, but we've played that mode before. We've played those before. It's nice to have it modern. Right. And actually play online and be compatible, but right.
And it that trailer gave me all of the good vibes from like an SSS Tricky, like a Steep if it wasn't so self-serious, because like, you know, the physics of Steep made that game really entertaining to watch. But like that game wanted to be like, come get the extreme sport experience. And like, I appreciate that Riders Republic is like, oh, like wants to do that, but is like, here's a jetpack and we put a booster on your bicycle.
They're not trying to be something. They're not trying to be sim and serious. They're trying to just be like, dude, check this game out. It's going to be fun. And it looks super fun. 100%. This is like a party mode game that I could see us just diving into and be like, hey, Riders Republic tonight, let's do it. And we just get like 10 people to join us.
Exactly. And like sports don't really have that kind of game, which is why I'm so excited about it. The one thing that makes me nervous is the number of times the trailer said the word progression and how much the trailer focused on like, you have to do these things to unlock more content. And like anytime somebody's focus is like, oh, you're going to want to grind this bad boy out so you can get to the cool stuff. Like, that's not what they said, obviously. And I want to give them, I want to assume that they won't build the game that way. But anytime a trailer's like, you gotta, you know, everything's about getting those stars. Everything's about progression. It's like, what about having fun with my friends?
That's what I care about. I hope online, and I hope the progression system between online and offline are two different things. I feel like if I'm playing online with friends and I'm doing a private game, give me everything. I shouldn't have to unlock stuff to play with friends online. Like that's
Right.
That's kind of how I feel about it. I'm hoping that's the case. We'll obviously know more. The game comes out September 2nd, and I'm just so excited for it. That is the. I mean, granted, there weren't much in the way of sports, but if there's that's the type of game, I'm not going to get super excited when I see Madden information or NBA or NHL because I know that's coming. This is a game where no one knew much about it. You kind of had inklings that it was coming. A lot of things you kind of knew, but no one knew like what it looked like. Basically, you knew they were working on a game like this, but no one knew what it looked like.
I'm trying to. Oh, hey, this is not breaking news because they announced this on the 12th, but you can sign up for. They do have a link on their Twitter account to sign up to be in betas. Turns out, so
yeah, and the game will come to PS4 and 5, Xbox One, Series X and S, PC, and if you're shocked like me that it still exists and it hasn't gone under yet, Google Stadia.
I was trying to see if they had a price point. Do you think this is a $60 game?
No, I think it's 40.
I think it's 40. I think it should be 40.
Real quick, Ray, we did see your super chat. We are getting into Madden next, so I'll address that right at the beginning of the Madden topic. Same with anybody else asking about Madden, and then any other questions that don't have to do with what we're talking about. Again, towards the end of the show, we will address. But we'll keep things moving at a brisk pace here. Outside of the sports games, well, no, we didn't talk about the great sports game that's coming out June 25th, and that's Mario Golf. I can't remember what their thing is, what the tagline is.
I hope you can't hear the neighbors upstairs.
Not at all.
Slamming their feet on the ground.
Not at all. But Mario Golf,
Super Rush.
There we go. It's a Mario Golf. At the end of the day, it's Mario Golf, Mario Golf, Mario Tennis, Mario Tennis, Mario Tennis. I don't need any other things.
And that's basically what they showed. They were like, here are the 3 game modes. There's golf, fast golf, multiplayer golf, and it's like,
open world golf.
You're right. I want all of that,
and I'm looking forward to it. We already talked about today at my office. We talked about on launch day, we're going to come in with our Switches. And we're going to have a Mario Golf tournament. Loser. Yeah. We're going to do Battle Golf. And last place buys lunch. Winner picks where we order from. We're a small company, so we're only 8 people, so it's not too bad. Yeah. But I'm pretty stoked, and I'm excited to give that a try and get into it, provided Nintendo lets us stream it without copyright striking it, because you know how Nintendo is with their boomer mentality. Was there, you know what disappointed me with E3 before we start wrapping this part up?
Yeah, sure.
There was no announcement of a new sim golf.
Yeah, I can't believe it. This would have been same thing with Roller Champions. It would have been a knockout if they just dropped Sim Golf 2021, Sim Golf 2K21. I
told you. I am to be fair, Fire Axis, which is the studio started by Sid Meier, is owned by Take-Two. So
is it Take-Two?
Yeah, they could really do it. Like, it comes full circle that way. And I told you 5 weeks ago I was going to pigeonhole Sim Golf into every single show, and I have since. And I'm going to continue to do it. And if people hate me for it, I don't care. Let's move on.
Well, do you want to do
wrap up your thoughts on E3?
No, you go first. Okay. What are some non-sports games you are excited for coming out of E3?
Elder Ring. Though I counted.
Do you want me to actually you?
I know it wasn't technically at E3.
The unaffiliated games.
It was better than anything Jeff E3 had. Jeff Keighley puts on I'm a Jeff Keighley mark. All right. He's done so much for this industry to keep the media going. Like, no, Jeff Keighley can do no wrong for me. Okay, he can do a lot wrong but Elder Ring. If we're going to talk about the official E3 stuff, I still have no hope for Halo Infinite. No hope at all. But, I have no hope for Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2. Metroid Dread.
That's right.
A game that is 17 years in the making is finally coming.
Yeah. Do you think they've been working on it this whole time?
Hell no. I think they forgot about it. Xperk says Starfield. Sports Video Game Daily, Back for Blood.
Something I'm surprised about this year is there were a lot of Left 4 Deads. A lot of people announced a Left 4 Dead. Like Back for Blood is the one everybody knew about because it's developers, but like a lot of people revealed like Left 4 Dead style games.
Left 4 Dead
I was really
or
surprised.
Dead by Daylight. And that's kind of what a lot of it is. The Back for Blood is the only game I'm interested in because Left 4 Dead is such a nostalgic game for me, and to the point where I still play Left 4 Dead 2. Battlefield 2042.
That Battlefield trailer looked slick.
Yes, especially because it showed actual gameplay. I don't care about cinematic trailers. I hate cinematic trailers. I hate when I watch a trailer and it goes, not actual gameplay. Then I don't want to see it. All right? You know what? It's happening. Okay, we'll move on in a second. Developers. All right? I don't want to see your stupid cinematic trailers when it has nothing. No. People don't care about the cinematics at the end of the day. People care about how does the game play? What modes do you have? What's the replay value like? Not,
excuse me.
Oh, that 30-second video clip cutscene between this shooting this guy and shooting that guy in a mission. That sold the game. Screw off with the damn cinematic trailers. Give me gameplay when you announce a game. Nothing more. And tell me what the game has. I don't need some backstory cinematic sitting around a campfire and then you realize, oh, these graphics aren't even what you'll get in the game. Don't give me that Warcraft crap from back in like 2004, 2003, where the cinematics were fantastic. You got the game and they look like you're damn looking at pixel ants from 2,000 miles in the sky. All right, done. Next, you go because I will stay on this soapbox. Okay.
All right, so there are 3 games I'm really looking forward to. I'll do my top 3. Number 1, obviously Metroid Dread. I'm a huge Metroid fan. A lot of people wouldn't know that about me because you've not been following the entire 30 years of my lifespan. But Metroid Dread was 1, a huge surprise to me, and 2, I think so too. Yeah, I think a lot of people were expecting Prime 4 news, which we got in the fact that we didn't get Metroid Prime 4 news. But I like the 2D Metroids better anyway. And
yeah, same here. I'm not a Metroid Prime fan, to be honest.
And the fact that it is a spiritual successor to Metroid Fusion, which I think is probably my favorite Metroid because it is a Metroid game by way of a horror game. And I really think the vibes of that game are super, super cool. And this game looks creepy like that game did. So I'm really excited about that. Equally surprising was the announcement that they are remastering and relaunching the first 2 Advance Wars games, which we used to play on our show choir trips. Basically, we would just pass a Game Boy Advance back and forth and play Advance Wars. So the fact that that is coming to the Switch in December and it's coming with multiplayer, online multiplayer, is so cool. I literally could not have been a more random announcement, I don't think, but I'm really excited about it. And then at the Devolver Digital show, they showed a weird looking deck building game called Inscription. I can't stop thinking about that trailer because it's inscrutable and I have no idea what the gameplay could possibly be because it looks like a mix between like Slay the Spire and like some kind of weird Magic the Gathering offshoot, and then also one of those like Extreme Truth or Dare movies that were really popular for like 2 summers, mushed together in the one game. And I just really want to know more about that game. It just looks wild. I don't know, but I can't stop thinking about that game. So
deck builder games, I'm hit or miss. There's a deck builder wrestling game that's going to be in early access. We'll have coverage of on SGO.
A lot of people shouting out the Sony presentation.
Sony killed it. Killed it. They're so focused on making sure people can't get their consoles that they decided to make sure people can't get their presentation either. Anyway, we're going to move on because we've been on this a while. We're going to move to Madden 22. But before we do, we're going to give away our first copy of Retromania Wrestling. We have a version of the Switch and a version on the PS4. All you have to do to enter is leave a chat and tell me if you're a wrestling fan, tell me what your favorite wrestling moment is. If you know of wrestlers, who is your favorite wrestler today? That's it. And based on that, we'll pick random. I got the random thing here, and I will pick the winner of the first version, Switch or PS4. And then whichever one is left, we will give away at the end of the show. So while we wait for people to get their things in, we're going to go to Madden 22. And we are let's get to the super chat because I feel like a jerk for taking this long from Ray Magnoni. Thank you, Ray, for the super chat. Which Madden would sell more copies? The game devs want to make or the game suits want to make? Game devs want to make all day. All day. Because the devs still see the money in Ultimate Team, but they would get a lot more of a hardcore, I think, audience too. A lot of people would come back to it. Because the game the suits want to make is that's still going to get developed. If the devs had more time to put in what they wanted, then you're getting more because what the suits would already want would probably be in there. I know it kind of was like a weird ass backwards answer, but
no, I think I questioned it at first, but I was reading the question wrong. I thought it was like the game the fans want to make or the game the suits want to make. I think you're right. That I think the devs probably, because you're right. The devs don't take out Ultimate Team, and they
because I guarantee you that gives them some of the bonus money.
Oh, right, and anything that else they would change about the game would presumably be for the better. So,
yeah, and that's kind of how I feel. Speaking of Madden, now this is tomorrow. We are recording this on Wednesday, so if you're listening to the show after the fact on sportsgamersonline.com/podcast, you're already going to know who the cover is. But we get the special cover Thursday, June 17th. They are doing teases on the Madden social media, saying it's going to be 2 GOATs, 2 with escape artist traits. To me, like everybody's like, well, that eliminates Brady. And so, but it would also, who would it be? Unless they somehow give Brady the escape artist trait all of a sudden, which wouldn't be the case. But I'm like at a loss on who the cover athletes will be at this point. But we know they're going to be quarterbacks.
I mean, it would make the most sense
Maybe
for it to be Brady and Mahomes, right?
I think of escape, and I'm like, Elway was good at it. Favre was good at it.
So they said that this was going to be is this the one that they said was going to be unlike any Madden cover they'd ever done?
Yeah.
What if it's literally 2 GOATs? No. What I think
I would have so much respect for EA because then they're trolling. Or if that's what they announce first and then come out with the real one like half hour later, because certain channels and certain outlets will take it and go, this is another reason why EA doesn't care about the fans, blah, 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 negative video.
I don't know. I mean, I think you're on the right track. I think it's probably not 2 current quarterbacks, right? It
might be one.
I think it's one.
I think Mahomes is on there. I 100% think Mahomes is. The other one, I don't know. I was thinking Brady, but now I'm like, who's an escape artist? Big Ben? Like he used to be. Because he could never get taken down.
Maybe. Somebody took him down. Age took him down, I guess.
Ty 98, Mike Vick, and Lamar Jackson. Mike Vick would make sense. Lamar Jackson, no, because he was just on it last year. He's not going to be on it back-to-back, I don't think. Mike Vick would make sense in a way.
I would be,
Rodgers and Mahomes. That would make sense.
Do you mean that
really funny?
Now, do you mean Aaron Rodgers as an escape artist in that he is escaping his contract with the Green Bay Packers? Because that's true. I think Vic and Mahomes would be a really cool cover. I understand that there might be some pushback with Vic, but I think it would be very cool.
There are rumors that Brady and Mahomes were out at a photo shoot in Florida. Yeah, I heard about that, but I don't know where they came. I saw people talking about them on social media, but I don't know if anybody reputable had anything.
Cunningham would be great too. I would love to see Cunningham.
Oh my God,
Randall
Cunningham
would be
and
great.
Warren Moon.
Yeah,
give me that.
I don't think they do Watson. There's no way that they do Watson right now. There's absolutely zero chance. I mean, like
with everything going on, no.
I legitimately think they avoid doing Brady for similar because I think they're worried about people not buying the game because Brady's on it.
I mean, he was on it a few years ago, and it still sold extremely well. I don't think people care.
Yeah, I know. I mean, like, it's not
at the end of the day, people can print their own covers, and how many people are buying physical copies of the game anyway? So we're getting all it's going to be is what athlete do you see when you go to the storefront to download the game?
Right.
Steve McNair would be pretty cool.
Do you think this
would be pretty cool?
Do you think that this is a way that they signal that they're doing like a deep roster, like an older roster thing?
I would hope
if they do one new and one old. Do you know what I mean?
I hope
like
not.
You don't want them to do like all stars or anything like that?
No, because that takes resources away from something else we need.
Keep it the ultimate team. Well, but that's never stopped them before.
I know. Let me have hope, damn it. Don't get me started.
I think it's probably Mahomes. I think it's probably either Brady or Rodgers. It would be really funny to be Rodgers situationally, but I hope it is. This one maybe not so much.
No, Bert.
Does he play quarterback?
For our listeners,
get out of here.
Orenthal James Simpson. I don't think he'll be on there. I'm just saying. Don't think. Eli and Peyton Manning. That would actually be pretty cool, though. I feel like they missed their opportunity. Like, Eli and Peyton would have been perfect for Madden 08.
I was going to say when they were both in the league, yeah.
Yeah, but Madden 08 would have been, instead of Vince Young, would have been perfect for Eli and Peyton because they were the last two Super Bowl winners at that point. Or Madden 09, I'm sorry. Would have been, no, Madden 08. But it would have been fantastic, like right after they'd each won the Super Bowl back-to-back years.
Here's my left field called shot. I think when they say that this is unlike any cover they've ever done, it's because there are no current stars on the cover. I think it's Randall Cunningham and Mike Vick, and I think that would be sick.
That'd be sick. I hope, you know what I want them to do? Just go back old school and just put John Madden himself on the cover again.
One last thing before we move on. Somebody in the chat, Mr. Justin Stevens, has said Tim Tebow. They said a quarterback and not a tight end. So,
well, they can have Tim Tebow on there twice.
Two Tebows.
You have quarterback Tebow, you got tight end Tebow.
That good. I could get out my Denver Broncos. That would give me an excuse to get out my Denver Broncos Tim Tebow jersey. So
Taysom Hill and Tim Tebow. There you go. There's your Madden cover reported exclusively on the SGO Press Pass.
You
Seriously,
can report that,
don't
cite your sources.
Don't. Yeah, Jake Jacobson. All right, before we move on, I have the winner of the first copy of Retro Mania Wrestling. Can I get a drum roll?
Do you want me to? It might be orally displeasing.
Actually, no. Don't.
Do you have a sound effect button for it?
No, I don't.
We should have downloaded a file beforehand. Dang it.
Party a boy. Oh my God, I did not notice the avatar. Fantastic. You have won a copy of Retromania Wrestling. Let us know what version of the game you want, Nintendo Switch or PS4, and we will get that to you. If you want us to send it via Twitter, let us know, or however you want us to send it, let us know in the chat, and we'll get that to you as soon as possible. We do have one other opportunity to win at the end of the night, but now we're going to move on. We got a couple more things to get to. NBA 2K22 teases here. So we kind of know, and one of the covers, it appears Dirk Nowitzki is going to be there. That's kind of a giveaway. Everything's pointing to that. But we also got a little tease earlier this week on the regular cover being fellow Dallas Maverick superstar, current Maverick superstar Luka Doncic, which would be fantastic because he is a fantastic player. It turned out it was a fan-made cover, but there are rumblings that Doncic will actually be the cover athlete on at least one version of the game. What do you think about that? Would you be surprised if it's Doncic? Would you be surprised if it's not? What are you thinking? Like, are there any players that would have come to your mind first?
Do they tend to do MVPs? Because Doncic makes a ton of sense, I think. I mean, because no. Wait, yeah. No, who won this year? How come I can't?
Doncic won this year. Yeah.
That's what I thought. Yeah. I don't know why it didn't come up right away. Yeah, I think Doncic would make a ton of sense. I was kind of thinking maybe a LaMelo Ball this year because he got a ton of press, ton of game. Like, also he's just fun as hell to watch. But no,
Jokic won MVP, not Luka.
Okay, that's what I thought. Sorry, everyone. Thank you for correcting me. I knew I was not remembering that correctly. But
I'm gonna cluster them in. Incredibly talented foreign basketball player.
Apologies, everyone. Thank you. That's why I thought. I was surprised that it didn't come up right away when I Googled it. Yeah.
Don't worry. So like, if we make a mistake, Chad is sure to correct us.
No, and I appreciate that.
And I'm not
trying to be sarcastic.
Especially when it's something like that.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. I feel like you do. I feel like why wouldn't you do the MVP unless you're trying to do like a LeBron James again, or like CP3? But presumably they've already decided this before Chris Paul blew up the Suns and then maybe caught COVID. Yeah, I don't know. I like Doncic would, I guess, make sense, especially if they're doing Dirk. Maybe they're just doing a lot of sort of tall European guys. Player. Yeah,
couple people. Christian Phelps and Football Guy Boy could about a Brooklyn Big Three cover. As a Knicks fan, no.
Would look really cool though.
No,
I think that's boring, a much better
black and white color scheme.
No,
GTFO.
They put them in the old New Jersey Nets colors. It'll be fine. They wore those jerseys a bunch this year.
No. It's annoying.
I think
Kevin Durant's my favorite player, and he's on the team I hate the most.
He might be one of the best players of all time. I wouldn't 100%.
I've been on the Durant bandwagon since the Thunder days. Like,
have they done a Durant cover?
Yes.
Okay. Because like Durant would also be another knockout of the park choice for this year's NBA season. But again, like I'm assuming this is something that's already been decided, and not something that they're trying to decide based on how people have been playing down the streak. So
yeah.
What are your thoughts? How about you?
I would like Luka just because I really, really, really like him as a player. The idea of LaMelo has me because right now Charlotte's not a big name team right now. They didn't even make the playoffs. I want someone new, that's for sure. But it's really tough. I think Joel Embiid would be a good one. I think Joel Embiid. He's charismatic. He's one of the most fun players to watch. And I think on the standard edition of the game, at least if they go, someone brought it up in chat, maybe they go a last gen version cover and a next gen. Maybe Joel Embiid on the last, and Nellums, Coda, Devin Booker. That if the Suns, I mean, they already have the cover decided, but Devin Booker would be fantastic. He is one of the most exciting, dominant players in the NBA. Gee, I know Embiid was on NBA Live, but that's not a real game. But yeah, I think if it's not Luka, Joel would be my pick. Legend Edition, it makes sense. It would be Dirk with all things pointing. Maurice Holloway, how do I feel about LeBron? You want me to go on a rant again? I don't think we have the time to go on a rant again. I won't. Let's put it this way. LeBron on my TV, I immediately turn off my television. My wife is the same way, and it's fantastic, and I love her for it.
Chat, tell Mike about how much good basketball he's been missing by doing this.
I've been watching Steph Curry. I can watch Steph Curry. I can watch Kawhi. I can watch KD. I can watch Jonas Valanciunas, and it's better.
If you're not watching this video live and you're listening to this podcast, leave us a 5-star review and tell me about one of your favorite LeBron James plays.
Blaze Rooster. I know I'm not missing anything. Julius Randle, the real MVP. Here's another one. Football guy boy. Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell. My God, yes. Donovan. I want Utah and Phoenix in the finals, in the Western Conference Finals, because I'd be so stoked for whatever team comes out of that. I am so hoping for a Utah-Milwaukee finals. I will always root for, because of where I'm from, I will always root for small market teams because they always get the shit end of the stick, especially in this epic super team era of basketball. Seeing a team like Utah get a championship when I feel like they should have, they just ran into Michael Jordan when they had their best era.
Well, 31 NBA teams can make that exact same complaint, yes. To be fair.
But I'm so excited, like seeing Devin Booker finally have a run. Like this playoffs, once the Nets are out, as long as the Nets are out, give me them all day. Get the best playoffs ever. No LeBron in the finals. Hopefully no Kyrie in the finals. Give me that. Anyway, after last night, I don't know. I still think it could happen. They got to go home for a game and then back. It all depends how things go. Will KD be able to have that effort again? Like that was he put the team on. He went full Greg Jennings and put the team on his back, though.
Herculean effort. Truly.
Yeah, that was one of the best games I've ever seen from an NBA player in my lifetime from being an NBA fan. So from the time I started watching basketball when I was like 8 years old. So I think, to me, that was like one of the best performances I've ever seen.
One last guy I'd love to see on the cover, Trae Young. And then we can move on. So.
I'm not even going. That ugly son of a.
What? That's just rude. You're just not being nice.
No. He eliminated my damn team. Why would I be nice about this?
Yeah, that's fair.
No.
Did we want to do NBA teases or NBA Live?
NBA Live, we talked about it last week on our show. Update, if you didn't check it, you can go back into the archives, sportsgamersonline.com/podcast. But the TLDR of it, there's more details in last week's episode, there's no movement. They're working on other things. People of that team, they've been put elsewhere within EA. So take that as what you will. Might come back down the line, but we're not sure. All right. Quickly, before we get into listener questions, Formula 1 2021 released their features trailer today. I was going to show it, but I don't want us to get demonetized for obvious reasons. This is a game that Breaking Point career mode, it's going to span over 3 seasons. You will start in the F2. You will see the return of past rival Devin Butler. It's going to be a very unique mode. And if there's a team that I think can do it really well, it is Codemasters. This is a game series that I've made my game of the year multiple times. I have given it's the only game in my 5 years with SGO that I've given a perfect 10. It's the only series. And they just do so much to get you interested. And they're moving towards bringing in more and more newer players and inexperienced players that make it so much more welcoming that you can't help but get excited when this game drops. Aside from Breaking Point, career mode, we all know about 2 players. They did say today we didn't know it was going to be available for local play, so it's local and asynchronous online, so you don't have to wait for somebody to do, if they're working on research and development, you don't have to wait, which makes me so happy.
Yeah, that was maybe the biggest announcement for me was the online is not like simultaneous. I think that's huge.
Yeah. Just not having to worry about it, not having to worry about syncing up and all that, and then you just race when you race. And it's just the idea of the starting on opposite teams and then eventually merging, or you can really role play this and you start on the same team and then you get mad at each other and you're like, you know what? I'm signing a contract with Mercedes. Bye. And then you're just out while the other goes to Red Bull Racing and your old team's like, the hell? No one's with me now.
You know what, Mike? We've been great as teammates, but we'll be even greater as enemies.
Just call us frenemies. Hey, they need they need it. That podcast is kaput. So,
hey, no, I'm sure they'll find someone better than me for that.
Nah, we good. We're gonna be good. Lastly, my team. Not much is coming to my team. Some real world stat updates that'll be updated throughout the season. The real season start feature will allow you to start anywhere in a calendar year, from the date you're at to prior, as long as the event has passed. So I'm excited to dive into that. It's just, there's going to be so much. That game drops in a month from today, from recording July 16th. And when I say I can't wait to dive into that and review that game, that is the game I look forward to reviewing every single year. And I don't think as long as I do this, I will give up reviewing that game, because I just know I'm going to enjoy it that much.
Yeah, I think I didn't buy F1 2020 last year, but I played the demo and it turned me into a believer. I think this is probably a day one buy for me. Like F1 2021 legitimately looks, even for, and I've talked about this before, like their accessibility options make it so that a person who doesn't play racing sims can play F1, can feel like an F1 driver, which I have to imagine is one of the scariest and hardest cars to drive very, very quickly. So, I'm really looking forward to this. Everything they've shown so far is great. The 2-player stuff is great. The online stuff is great.
Yeah, it turned me. Now, I've always been a racing fan, but Formula One was never my thing. The F1 series over the last 5-6 years turned me in to a Formula One fan, where I will now watch races. So it's doing its job on me, and I'd have to assume it's doing its job on a lot of others. But as we get to the end of the show, as always, it's time to get to the viewer questions. If you want to guarantee your question be read, leave us a super chat as always. Before we get to your questions throughout, as many as we can, leave a like on this video. Make sure you're subscribed to Sports Gamers Online, and make sure your notifications are turned on so you never miss any of our latest videos. Leaving a like on this video, however, is the biggest way you can help us spread the reach. The more likes, the more YouTube likes us, and they recommend us to people out there looking for some fun content. So, we got a lot to get to. NHL 22. There's been a lot of questions on that. One of them, I can't scroll up that far to it, but where do we think we'll have a beta in August? I don't think we'll have a beta this year. I'd be surprised if we did, because it is a new gen, a crossover to the next gen consoles. It will be on PS5 and Xbox Series X this year. And all signs point to, based on leaks and even an employee's LinkedIn post before he took it down, probably we got called out and his company caught it once it picked up news or picked up steam. It will be making its way, it appears, to the Frostbite engine. Not sure if it's Frostbite 3 or Frostbite 4, but with FIFA looking to go to Frostbite 4, it would make sense. A game developed in the same studio does it as well. Brandon Bonner, will there be another volleyball game? I don't know. I don't know. I'm not big on volleyball games. They've never been made right. Let's put it that way. If they could be made right, they could be fun, but they've never been made right.
I feel like a lot of people have I feel like a lot of people have exhausted a lot of creative juices trying to make motion volleyball games.
Agreed. I think a VR volleyball game is
games.
probably the next thing we get.
Yeah. Wii Sports Resort 3.
Yeah, buddy. Trey Atkins. Will WWE 2K22 be the game, in your opinion, to bring fans back? From what you know, after everything that has been said and how bad 2K has put the WWE games industry in from 2K20. I don't know if it'll bring everyone back, but it will. It's hard to see this game being bad. It's going to have its detractors, that's for sure. It's not going to be this overwhelming gameplay change that many people want, but there will be enough there, I do believe, that you'll be happy with what you get. The new animations are no joke. When they say they have 4,800 new animations or newer updated animations, they're not kidding. It is that much. It is a lot. Some very subtle, as simple as walking 2 steps. Some very noticeable, as like a running power slam. My biggest concern with it is how outdated that game is going to be roster-wise. We all know what they've done. That game is going to be one of the most outdated roster games ever to be released. And that's just the price you pay by being a wrestling video game where things constantly changing. You have WWE firing people left and right because of budget cuts. You know, but I don't want to go on another rant. Ty98, any updates on Maximum Football's code buyer? Not yet, but
I want them so bad. I want them really bad.
We're soon. I think by the end of the month we'll hear something. Ty, you also asked earlier about Access Football 22. Stay tuned, because this July we are bringing back the SGO Showcase, but it's going to be different. We're not going to do an hour-long show as we have in the past. We are going to spread it out over a month, and each game is going to be part of a greater showcase where a couple times a week we'll have an SGO Showcase video, and Access Football will be a part of that with some exclusive news and a brand new look at what's going on there. So you're not going to want to miss it, but new information is coming that you will only get here from SGO. Excuse me. Will esports boxing bring boxing back to the gaming community? Nellums, I hope so. I really do.
I guess we didn't talk about this, but last week I had boldly claimed that there was no way Esports Boxing Club would be at E3, and then literally hours later they announced that they were going to be at E3 this year. So pleasant surprise. I'm glad they got to be up there on the big stage.
We got nothing really major out of it, but it did give a grander audience information that had no idea. So people who've been following it weren't impressed, but there's so many more people that had no idea this was developed. And to see them come out and go, well, by the way, here's who we have in this game too. Like, that's going to get a lot. Like, the interest has been extremely high on social media since that drop. So it did its job. NBA Live 22 news. Jonathan, there's nothing. MLS news with EA picking up full stadiums. I haven't heard anything. I don't know what's going on with that. Hopefully we have something soon. Can we get a Mike rant counter for next week?
You've got a whiteboard right behind you. It'd be easy.
I know. Maybe.
Here, I'll hold up. Here's what I'll do. I'll keep track of it. So then when you're ranting, I'll just hold up a notepad and I'll just do this. This is gonna. There's nothing. That's one, by the way. That's one line. That's not going to be great for the podcast listeners, but it's a very funny joke for those of you with us live.
We only have a couple more time to get to a couple more. Maurice, again, do you all expect any real changes for franchise mode in Madden? There's some. I've said it on this show quite a few times over the past few since we started a few months ago, almost 3 months already. Wow. Players will be pleasantly surprised with what's going on with Madden. Again, it's not like WWE. It's not going to bring everybody back. It's not going to change the world and make everybody happy to where all the channels that do negative videos all the time and all the people that post on social negatively all the time and just look for any reason to hate it will stop hating it. But they are working to make things better on the field and off. Hopefully we can say more in about a month, if not sooner. But we do have some information. If you want to be the first to get that information, though, sign up for SGO Insider, sportsgamersonline.com/insider, and you can get that information before anybody else as we get it. We give away a lot of stuff, including we had some news on an upcoming wrestling game, some new roster members that may or may not be appearing there. New mode before it came public that they are going to be having in the wrestling code a GM mode. Our insiders found that out first on our Discord, on our insider-only Discord channels. So think about it. sportsgamersonline.com/Discord. Sports Video Games Daily. It will be on Wednesdays. The Press Pass Live will be on Wednesdays as long as we can do it on Wednesdays. But that is our number one target. Wednesdays.
Our default is 8:30 Eastern Standard Time on Wednesdays. And then if you keep an eye on our, especially our Twitter account, twitter.com/sportsgamerson, that's where you will see if we make any changes to that. So,
couple more. Any news for WWE 2K22? I expect July is when we'll start seeing some more from that. Justin Stevens, any news of what golfers will be in EA PGA? There hasn't been any. I've been trying my damnedest to get an idea of, and I actually recently, because 2K would not give me this information, I decided to put in a FOIA request to get the contract terms with the golfers they have to find out if they're under exclusive licensing. So that could take anywhere from 3 to 30 weeks. It probably won't be that long, but it depends how backed up it is. But that request has been made to try and get that information because I want to know if the golfers that they do have license, like a Justin Thomas and Sergio Garcia and Bryson DeChambeau, have exclusive deals with 2K. Though DeChambeau hyping up EA Sports kind of has me thinking it's not going to be the case. I think golfers like DeChambeau, Rory McIlroy, Dustin Johnson will be in the game. Jordan Spieth, I think golfers like them will be in the game, especially if they have all the majors. It's just we have nothing official just yet. But on that note, last question, AEW Games news. August is when I'm hearing we'll get the next batch of information. But it could be sooner. But I'm hearing August, and that might coincide with WWE when they announce their stuff to keep the momentum of hey, don't forget about us. But on that note, this has been the SGO Press Pass, as always, here at youtube.com/sportsgamersonline. Jake, episode 10 went very, very smooth.
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
And
it's nice to be able to talk about non-sports games briefly, but I promise sports games are going to be back. Don't worry about it. This is an SGO exclusive. Sports games gonna be back. So.
What a shock. Though, if you do want to know more about non-sports games, we are restarting a new channel, SGO 360. So youtube.com/SGO 360, all gaming all the time. We will be having way more than just sports games coming up on Sports Gamers Online, which is weird to say, but it's all part of the SGO network that we're building here, baby. For Jake Jacobson, you can follow him on Twitter at @TH3Composer. I am Mike Straw. You can follow me on Twitter at Mike Straw Media, on all social media platforms at Mike Straw Media. Until next time, we are out.
Later, y'all.